if you look at the lizard, you look at the back of the lizard, it's very bright, and we have some areas that are a little bit blown out, just like the tail down here, which is overexposed on the bottom of the tail. It's still a great photograph. It's just that some areas are just very, very bright. However, the hippo head here, we don't have areas like that on the hippo head. So in order for this to make it look like it's in the same place at the same time, we should brighten the hippo like the lizard looks brightened, and almost make it look like it's in the same lighting at the same place. So what we can do is I'll click on the hippo head layer, I'll hold down the Alt key, which is the Option key on the Mac, and I'll come down here and make an image adjustment. I can select levels, and I'll make sure to use previous layer to create clipping mask. And then I can just come in here and move this white slider to the left, and that will brighten up the head of the hippo just to the point where we think it has enough little tiny highlights to match up with the rest of the lizard. Now, I mean, some people will look at this and go, "Man, this is absolutely crazy." I mean, just going through all these little tiny details. But like I said before, the little tiny details are what really makes the difference. And so this is what it was before, and this is after. Because you can see that the lizard has so much lighting on top of it. Look at that. And originally our hippo didn't have any at all. So let's go ahead and add that in there with the image adjustment. And look at that. Now if we look down here, we can see that the mouth is totally blown out. Well, that's no big deal. I can go ahead and fix that. All I have to do is just go over to the mask, because anytime you create an image adjustment, really it's not directly applied to the layer. It comes with a little mask, and you can erase away parts of the image adjustment and not have those areas show through. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just click on the layer mask next to that image adjustment, come over to the toolbar and select the paintbrush. And if you set a pretty good size brush, I'll do a soft brush here. Because right here on the mouth, that just looks way too over blown out there. So I can click on the layer mask, and that will make the levels and image adjustment go away in this area. That's really all I'm doing, is I'm just painting on the mask and telling that image adjustment that I don't want anything touching this area, only the top, because that's really where the lighting's hitting, is on the top of his head or the top of his nose there. And this area down here could almost be like in the shadow. Alright, that's looking pretty good. I do see a little bit of discoloration. It almost looks like there's a little bit too much yellow inside the hippo lizard. Well, since we made an image adjustment, it's really easy. I'll just come over here and double click on the color balance image adjustment, and we can see the yellow's cranked all the way over here on the left. So I can just bring that back a little bit the other direction, and that may solve the problem. I could probably just remove a little bit of green. The thing about this, though, if you want less yellow, then you're going to get more blue with the color balance. So I'm just going to go ahead and play with it a little bit here until I can get it just right. And don't worry about if the color is just not matching perfectly right now, because at the very end of the tutorial I'm going to show you another technique that will make the two blend in perfectly. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it there, I think. I'll click OK. Alright. Looking great. So what's the next step? Well, let's go ahead and darken the background area behind the hippo head, because if we do this, it's going to make that hippo head stand out just a little bit more. You can see on our completed product over here, we have a brightness and contrast image adjustment over the lizard. And what that is doing is it's allowing us to lower the background behind the head. And when we do that, it makes the head stand out even more. And so you can see this is what it was before, and now this is after. And so it just makes a huge difference there. Alright, so let's go ahead and click on the lizard layer right here, and I'll show you how this is done. After I activate the lizard layer, I'm going to click over on Edit in Quick Mask Mode, this button right here, and I'm going to set the foreground color to black. And I'm going to increase that master diameter. And let's zoom out of the image just a little bit. And we're going to paint in the background here just a nice soft mask in the background. Because we don't want to darken the entire background of this lizard, or the hippo lizard here, just this top corner. And that will help us make just the head here of the hippo stand out just a little bit better. There we go. Let's switch back to normal mode now, and you should see this selection. I want you to come up here to select, inverse that. Then while that lizard layer is still activated, hold down the Alt key, Option on the Mac, and come down to the Create Fill or New Adjustment Layer button right here, and select Brightness and Contrast. Put a checkbox right here. Click OK. And now, I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see what's going on here. If I lower the brightness, you can see it just makes that hippo mouth there stand out. Look at that. This is before. This is after. There we go. And since it is an image adjustment, I can go back to it anytime while I'm working on this project and readjust it. Okay, so it's looking